Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Major Zarian. I'm joined by Rich. Nobody's in my way. Stambolian.
Get out of my way, people.
Carlito's not in your way.
Carlito's not in the way. Bitch, move, get out the way. Been listening to a lot of Ludacris lately.
A lot, you know what? I've been thinking about him.
Did you see that?
What is he doing today?
He threw out the first pitch with the big hands the other day.
No, I didn't see that.
Guys, look it up. Ludacris threw out the first pitch of the game. But he wore the big hands and the big boots, and yeah, it was unbelievable.
That man is Ludacris.
He's the best. He's the best.
What a Ludacris of a human being.
Benny Blanco from the Bronx in the building.
Benny Baklava. Yeah, he is. He's in Benny Baklava. That's another one. But he's from Astoria, not from the Bronx. Yeah. Guys, this show's all about professional wrestling. I am exhausted this week.
Tough week, huh?
You know, I had COVID.
Back to school.
I got COVID from that cruise.
Yeah.
And I've just I'm fine. It was not. Listen, COVID schmo.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody left me a message.
Yeah, okay.
And they're like, I can't believe you're propagating this it's just a cold nonsense. I'm like, I've had it 6 times. It's a fucking cold.
Yeah,
for me. I don't give a shit what it's for you. You deal with your own problems. I'm dealing with mine.
That's because you aren't all those PEDs.
I'm on all those PEDs.
Horse trank.
Yeah.
Whale trank.
Yeah. All of it. That's the only way I survive.
Elephant trank.
But I'm tired still. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got COVID.
I got COVID.
I'm tired. You got COVID. You're tired, dude.
I'm tired. But I'm fine.
Good.
I'm fine.
Good.
It's all good.
We'll be at Grand Slam September 25th. Don't say hi to us.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be there. And you know who else got his press pass?
I know.
Bob.
Yeah. Your financier.
My financier.
Yeah.
Bob Rowe, the financier.
Mm-hmm.
He is a financier. You know what? That's how we're going to introduce him from now on.
For some reason, because those Grand Slam seats have been very close.
Oh, wait a minute.
And very nice.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No. Your Grand Slam seats.
Oh, well, I mean, best seats in the house. I'm wrestling on the show, by the way.
Yeah, you made yourself to the ring last time.
I'm wrestling on the show. I'm calling out everybody on the show.
Rich is going to be in the ring by the end of that show.
I'll be holding the belt by the end of that show.
By hour 4 of Collision, because it's a double taping, by that 12:15 a.m. time, Rich is going to have a match. He's ending the show.
Yeah. It's Samoa Joe coming out and going, I got a partner tonight. It's this guy.
And you have your camera on.
It's just
you're like, me? I'm the camera guy. Oh, my God. Yeah, we're going to be there. Rich is coming. I think Kyle is also going to be joining us.
Might have a special guest, too. Your favorite person.
Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, did he get his?
He applied for him.
But he's actually real media.
Yeah.
He has real credentials.
Yeah.
He works for a big website.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to say it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
He works for a big website.
Well, when we got to introduce Tony to Bob.
Yes.
Be like,
yeah.
This is Robert Rowe, the financier.
Yeah. For some reason, I picture. I'm pretty sure Bob's listening too. For some reason, I picture him falling asleep as soon as the show starts.
Oh my God! Sometimes he does.
Even through those fireworks, those fucking pants shitting fireworks that we experienced. Remember last year? The three of us were like, "Oh,
it's so hot and loud."
Yeah.
What's going on?
It was so close too.
What's going on?
All right, you ready? You ready to do this?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Wrestling adjacent.
Yeah.
Wrestling adjacent. Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix, a streaming service, releases the official trailer for the Mr. McMahon docuseries about Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, Dwayne Johnson, Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, John Cena, Bruce Pritchard, Eric Bischoff, Jimmy Hart, Bret Hart, Paul Levesque, and the Ringer's David Shoemaker are included in the trailer. So,
yeah,
this is just a bunch of hubbub nonsense.
Okay. Can I talk to you about documentaries and how I feel about them in 2015?
Are we doing what Andrew think?
What Andrew thinks.
We're doing what Andrew thinks.
I'm really into documentaries.
Same here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I always have been.
Same here.
Always have been. I'm always looking for the next best one.
Okay.
I will tell you something. They all suck now.
Okay.
Every one of them sucks.
Not the Last Dance.
And it started with... No, I mean, but you know what? The Last Dance was great. But that's sports-centric, you know? Give you an example. The Serial documentary.
Okay.
Or Making a Murderer, right?
Okay.
The Making a Murderer documentary was the nail in the coffin for me.
Okay.
That was the end. When people were arguing that man didn't kill that woman. You know what I mean? The Serial one was also... I don't want to get it, because that became like a whole thing. There was a lot of omission of facts in the doc. I think a documentary needs to be legitimate. It can't be a biased stance.
Did you watch the 1 in a Million Larry David one?
See, like those about like those people, like an actor is fine. Like,
no. The guy he got off for murder because he was at a taping of Curb at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, I did not see that.
It's unbelievable. So this guy got brought in, like he murdered a young woman, and he was like, I was at the game with my daughter, and they were like, you can't prove this. He's like, well, I got tickets. They're like, well, you could have just left. You could have left and murdered this person and come back. He was on a scene in Curb Your Enthusiasm, and you see him on TV, and that's how he got off.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Great documentary.
I just watched one that was actually really good. It was really dark and sad, and God, I gotta.
What did you?
I just watched it with
Tiger King. Where do you put that at?
Tiger King was a biased documentary. It made made a complete lunatic of a human being into a babyface, and they tried to sell a story that this woman killed her husband.
Yeah.
With really no. Listen, did it happen? I don't believe so.
You're talking about that bitch Carol Baskin.
That bitch Carol Baskin. Do you know?
We made a whole bit about that.
My wife made a killing during the pandemic with her Etsy shop, and that was one of her best-selling mugs.
That bitch Carol Baskin.
And I still have one.
So good.
On a
It's
tumbler.
so good. That's how Jonathan emerged from his cocoon. That's how he wedged himself into the show. He was making graphics for us.
Tiger King is not a documentary. It was almost like a comedy. This Vince McMahon thing, right?
This is not a documentary. It's a fluff piece.
I don't know. I don't know, because they did bring it up in the trailer, the Janelle Grant lawsuit.
Okay.
They did not call it sex trafficking in there. Listen, and again, I have no position on this story because it's a legal proceeding, and I don't know anything about it. I read the complaint. I read that 60-something page complaint.
It's awful.
But again, this is a lawsuit, and there are a lot of sensational words are used. And if true, it's heinous. I have no clue if it is or it's not. I don't know anything about that relationship, so I keep my opinions to myself.
I do feel like it's going to be close to that Bret Hart documentary. Like the way it's just like, or it's kind of like kayfabe and kind of shoot.
I don't want
like
that
in the middle.
And if that's the case, it's going to be a disaster. Now, I was talking about it with Garrett on We're Live, Pal. You know, that other show that I do.
Okay.
Okay, here's two scenarios this could go down. One, right? It's gonna be a lot of stories that wrestling fans know. It's gonna be, Vince McMahon, he's a crazy guy, and he made us, and then they're gonna show the Trish barking. Yeah. They're gonna show him being Mr. McMahon, and the whole thing is gonna be presented as, well, you don't know who the real guy is.
Yes,
is it this or is it this?
I agree with that.
That's my opinion. Or
they do that with every one of those. Like all the Peacock ones where it's like.
But see, this does not include WWE. This is not a WWE production.
Okay.
The Peacock ones are. The A&E ones are. The Dark Side wasn't, but Dark Side.
They're involved.
Listen, here's a great thing. Why hasn't Dark Side done a special on this yet? Right?
Yeah. But
why haven't they?
Weren't they in WWE's pockets?
No.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I could have sworn something. There was some kind of tangential relationship.
Nothing.
Okay.
I don't know what to expect. I'm not expecting a lot. I would be really happy if this is a true, real documentary and they deep dive into Vince's personal life. Vince being a part of this kind of makes me think we're not getting that. Or maybe we're just going to get a little bit of it, and he's going to say he's going to deny the accusations, and that'll be it. I don't know how else they could present Vince to a casual audience and tell this story. He's fascinating. This could become a very big documentary for Netflix because a lot of people don't know the story of Vince.
Well, that's another question for you.
Yeah.
So do you think what's the perception? Do you think this is a documentary made for the wrestling fan or made for the general public?
I think it's for the general public.
Because wrestling fans will eat that shit up,
Yeah, but they're also very jaded because they've heard these stories 5,000 times. But, like, I brought up the Ric Flair story, that the plane ride from hell.
Yeah.
Right? That story for 20-some-odd years, 22 years, was told in a comedic manner.
Yes.
X-Pac cut Michael Hayes' hair.
the plane door almost open,
serenading, the plane door almost, there was wrestling happening, everybody, JBL almost peed on, not JBL, I'm sorry. Michael Hayes almost urinated on Linda.
Allegedly,
obviously, who knows, right? It's wrestling. And then Ric Flair is in the robe, and he's strutting, and he's flashing. It was always told in that way.
Right.
For 20-something years. Now, and again, I'm not condoning any of the behavior.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be anywhere near that point.
No, not at all.
Okay?
It sounds like a nightmare.
Sounds like a real nightmare.
Yeah.
For 20-something years, that's how it was told. All of a sudden, documentary comes out.
Yep.
And a audience that hasn't watched shoot after interview sees it, and they go, oh my God, this is heinous.
Right.
This man disrobed and allegedly forced himself on a...
You mean they had a normal human reaction?
They had a normal... Exactly. You know what? Exactly. How dare they have a normal human reaction to...
Oh, this guy took his dick out on a plane.
And somebody was saying, he's like, yeah, but it's Ric Flair. It's Rick, like somebody said this to me. And I go, dude, I'm going to give you an example.
Shoot.
You're on a fucking JetBlue flight. Some senile old man, and again, I'm not knocking, no knock at the character on TV, Ric Flair. I'm talking about people. This crazy old man, gets naked and starts, shaking his gyrating and shaking his junk,
emitting noises,
on a stewardess,
wooing.
You're not gonna be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
of course you are. Just because the guy's a celebrity.
It's funny until it's not funny.
It's funny until it's not funny, right? And it's not funny when it's real.
Yeah.
That changed the story.
Right.
And rightfully so. Listen, that's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. You can make all the excuses you want. Oh, it's, locker room behavior. It's a different time. It's 20-something years ago, and that man was in his 50s.
Yeah.
He's not a frat boy doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's not Jonathan.
I mean, I've seen Jonathan do way worse.
I've seen Jonathan do
in your house.
In my house, yeah.
Like way worse.
But listen, with that said, I don't know how this is going to be presented. I hope it's presented in a very honest and fair way. I really hope it's not.
I don't think it's going to?
I mean, I guess my point doesn't matter.
He
but
really needs to get it.
Okay, get it out. Get it out before you forget.
Hurry up.
So they just... So here in Michigan, there's a big story, the Michigan spy scandal, Michigan football last year. And they did a documentary on the guy that was supposedly the guy that was spying on these other football programs. And they asked him point blank in the documentary if he did it, and his lawyer edited it. And that was the whole documentary. So his lawyer's like, oh, he can't say that. So why are we doing the documentary? So I'm worried that it's going to be somewhere along those lines. Where
I think it's just going to
dance around it.
They're going to go, it's a 6-piece story. They're going to go into his childhood of
working in the rock quarry.
An abusive house, lived in a trailer, getting in fights, him going to military school or whatever the hell he went to, meeting Linda, and then coming up with wrestling. They're going to, and how the promoters wanted to kill him and all this. They're going to do all that. And then they'll go into Janelle Grant. I don't know how much they'll go into it. It's a pending open case.
Well, there's also like the 50-50 side of it. You'll get that. You'll get like that hard luck story of a guy who worked in a rock quarry and found his real dad and like whatever, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get that. And then you're going to probably get peppered in there. Did this guy protect Jimmy Snuka from murder, allegedly?
Well, I hope like, those questions are raised.
Did this guy pay off so-and-so? Did this guy really almost go to jail for steroids? Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of shit to unpack here.
There is, but I don't know if anybody's ever going to get the real story here.
Oh no, absolutely not. Dude, it's wrestling.
Yeah,
it's wrestling. At the end of the day, it's wrestling. You're never going to get the real story from any of these people. It's wrestling and there's money involved.
Brandon in our chat room says, "Is it funnier if you're on a JetBlue flight with a senile old coworker?" It is less funny.
If we were on a plane,
and
we were like, "Oh shit, look at that dude," it's funny until you're like, "Yo, sit down."
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, buddy, sit down.
Are we done? Are we done?
Yeah, like, guys, sit down. You're making everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah. We'll see. I hope it's honest. I hope it's not a fluff piece. I hope because regardless of what you think of him, he's a fascinating person. This guy is very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So we'll see.
Wild stuff.
Yeah.
Wild stuff. As per WrestleVotes, WWE is set to announce a live primetime special on NBC in the next few days.
Can I give you a little insight? I was supposed to meet him.
Oh, yeah, for real?
Yeah,
First time?
First time.
You've never seen his face, right?
I've never seen his face. I listen, it could be me. WrestleVotes could be very well be me. We don't know.
Can you wear a latex mask when you meet him and then rip? It's just your mask. It's your face, and then you rip it off, and it's just
my face.
It's your face underneath.
I spoke to him last week. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
yeah, or girl,
right? Yeah, you don't know.
I don't know. Maybe non-binary.
Maybe it's a few people.
Idea. Maybe it's a few people.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a mole man.
Yeah.
Maybe it's MG. Can you imagine?
MG.
I'm WrestleVotes.
That'd be ridiculous. Ridiculously amazing.
This is how he writes.
That's how I type.
You did a Shawn Michaels.
I type like this. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. So that's going to happen in the next few days. While the location remains unknown, sources say tickets are set to go on sale next Friday.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Some people were speculating that it's the Garden. They're running a Garden show and they're going to air it on primetime. The Garden show is like around Christmas. So I don't know if they're going to run a network special around Christmas. I mean, that would be interesting if they do something like that. People are home. People are not away.
Mm-hmm.
Curious to see what they do. This was something that was discussed a while ago with the re-up. Yeah. That they were going to get network specials. This is going to be the first network special in many years, right?
Yeah.
8 years? 9 years?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Because they did... Was the last ones they did like the re-airing of WrestleMania?
No, I think it might have been something
after that?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, maybe. They did that during a pandemic, didn't they?
I don't want to say yes.
SummerSlam during the pandemic.
They did
SummerSlam.
NBC is,
thank you.
Yeah, I felt you
really hard at this because they're doing the Michael Che and Colin Jost comedy special thing that they ran 30,000 commercials for last night.
Yeah, they're running a clean comedy special.
Okay, cool.
All right,
moving on.
Yeah, let's go.
There are some notes here from the Tony Khan media call ahead of All Out this weekend.
Ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if the internet's ready. Okay. Every time I listen, I love Andrew to death. I've known him for a million years. I've never seen one guy ask the same question every single day, and it's got to be trying for you, buddy. It's got to be terrible.
You know, being asked a question and then answering it the same way each and every time since like April, does not bother me.
Okay.
You know what bothers me? The people are like, you've been saying this since April.
Who's this bozo?
Yeah, I've been saying it since April. I've been saying it since last year.
I do appreciate the people that come to your defense, because they know the real, they know the legitimacy of it.
Yeah, because like, listen, I don't give a shit.
Right.
I do this because it's fun.
I think it's funny because you can. This is like the cross section of the planet. Yeah. If you dip your pH stick into wrestling Twitter or wrestling X, cool off for a second. If you dip, I need that. If you dip your pH stick in that wrestling Twitter, and then you see like somebody going, "Hey Andrew, what's this?" and then he goes, "It's eminent," and then everybody going, "Who is this guy? What does he know? Ba 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 ba. What does he know?
Imminent
Who is
doesn't mean
person?
today.
Ba, ba,
it doesn't
ba,
mean
ba, ba.
tomorrow.
Da 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 da.
Maybe it means
it's
Sunday.
Also folks who don't understand, like. I'm not going to say, have you ever been in a board meeting? But it's like, this shit takes time. It's not cut and dry. It's not like it's 1842 and you're like, here's the land deed, give it to me. And that's it,
A lot of it is people that do not understand this stuff at all, right? They're not, there was never any doubt that Collision
right,
and let's say Dynamite, that they would be on, that they would get renewed. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
I don't know where the doubt came from that, oh my God, a contract's ending, they're going to get canceled. Do you know how many contracts go down to the wire? ESPN is about to get thrown off of DirecTV because they're in a stalemate on their contract.
Yeah. I would equate this to buying a house.
They actually did.
Are they off? Yeah. Well, that throws my whole fucking argument away. It is.
Big controversy around here.
I would equate this to buying a house.
Yeah.
Where you put the paperwork in, you put the money down, but who knows when you're going to move in?
Yeah. Seriously,
it could be 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
Could be a year and a half.
Listen, I think people need to your invasive thoughts about that company and your want for it to fail are not reality.
You're talking to the public.
To the public, not you. To the public. I suggest if you are that upset about a wrestling promotion, you need to disconnect.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're done. You're overwhelmed. You know, I'm seeing people that are putting out 20 to 30 tweets a day about this, about Tony Khan and AEW, and all I could think of, like, this is really unhealthy.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing. Oh yeah. There is nothing in my life that I would want to tweet so much about.
I mean, except for me.
Except for Rich.
Except for about me.
Even listen, even in real life, like, I'm as involved in wrestling as I could possibly be.
Right.
It's a couple hour section of my life.
Right.
I do the show. I talk to Rich. I'll send a couple things that I find out in the group chat. And that's it. Yeah. I live my life. I have 5,000 other fucking interests in my life that I could deal with. It's crazy.
Name your interest.
Hang gliding.
Oh, yeah.
Long walks on the beach.
Yeah, you're an awesome hang glider.
Can collecting. I go through my neighbor's cans.
Great. But only old soup cans, right?
Soup cans. That's a Campbell soup cans. Recycling. Big into recycling.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yelling at kids running across the street.
And your own kids.
And my own kids. Yelling at my own kids. I think this is wacky. Are they going to get a renewal? Yes, they're getting a renewal. How much is it? I don't know. Hopefully it's good. I was told it's a significant increase. I have no idea what that means because I don't know exactly what they're getting paid right now.
Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Straight from the horse's mouth, Tony Khan heavily suggested that they will be renewing with WWD and are continuing to have great conversations with them.
I think people missed it. I listening to it. I think he did say that many people that have been reporting stuff is accurate.
Yeah.
Which I believe he's talking about moi.
Did he do the cough?
Yeah, and then he threw up everywhere.
Some people can't handle that fake cough.
He pretty much said it that they're renewed now.
Yeah, no timetable was given.
At a risk of getting in trouble.
Here it comes. Should we put parentheses over this part of the show?
You know what? I would say imminent is the word. There's another element to this.
Oh, yeah? Is there a run-in?
There's another...
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
I'm so good at faking my words so you can't read my lips.
Yeah.
So whatever you think I said, I did not say.
Yeah, it seriously just looked like you said hump.
I said hump. I'm talking about Moxley. There's another element to this that this is the first time I've heard of it, and I don't know. I called somebody and I was talking to them, and they said it's very possible what I heard. Listen, you know what it is, and this is why I'm so vague about this stuff. I don't do it to keep you guys in suspense. I know a lot of people like to think about this stuff, and they're tickled by it, so we talk about it. I'm talking about it like I'm talking to friends here, but I don't want to get certain people in trouble.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
you don't want to burn those bridges.
No, I'm told things in confidence. I'm told to wait on stuff. I'm told, just double confirm it with someone else. Like, these are all things that happens. I'm not a journalist.
Dude.
I do this. I have fun teasing it. I think it adds some sort of spice to the conversation here.
You're the best general practitioner I know.
I'm the best general practitioner.
Best anesthesiologist I know.
But you know what? You know who I do not like?
Who's that?
That no good doctor, Dr. Darius Padu.
Oh, my God. Can we not get into that? Terrible.
I'm not a fan of him.
Terrible. Awful news.
Awful
news. Ugh. That gives me shivers. But listen, you're a journalist. It's your duty to report everything, isn't it?
I am not a journalist.
Don't quote me on that. He's not a journalist.
I'm not a journalist.
We're not even. Should we even consider ourselves wrestling media?
We are wrestling media.
Okay,
wrestling media.
Wrestling meatheads.
Wrestling meatheads is for sure.
More accurate.
We are. I'm so well behaved in public. Except for yesterday when I threatened the valet guy of slitting his throat. That was a big problem at El Toscano. Do you know about this?
Did he stare at you 1 second too long?
The fucking guy wouldn't talk to my wife. Like, shoot her away. Like, I don't talk to women.
Oh, really?
I wasn't there.
Wow. Was he like an older man?
He was a middle-aged man.
Okay. I mean, we're middle-aged men.
Very heavy accent. From a most likely a very misogynistic country.
Okay.
And he was like, I don't talk to women.
Wow.
Get away. I don't want to talk to a woman.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went.
That's wild.
And I went to him and I said, next time you talk to a woman like that, I'm going to slit your fucking throat. Do you understand? And I took the cone and I threw the fucking cone at his booth. And he's like, I'm sorry. And I drove away.
Yeah.
I'm a crazy person.
Wild.
Huh?
Was he a vampire?
The wild man.
No, he wasn't a vampire.
Imagine if he's a fan of the show.
This
guy's gonna sue you now. This guy's gonna tweet at you.
Yeah, I hope he does.
When's the WWE deal?
I hope he does. Misogynist. Where's it, W? That's what he said, and drove me to insanity. Yeah, Andrew's Herring.
I don't talk to these women. She has no news about the WB deal.
Yeah. Shooed my wife away. Like this, turned me back.
That's very upsetting. That's insulting.
I don't talk to women.
That's insulting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the world.
Has nothing to do with the restaurant I was at. Totally a different place.
Yeah.
Okay. They're wonderful there. Where are we?
So
WBD.
Yeah. Tony Khan said it's reasonable that AEW will become the second most profitable wrestling company of all time during the immediate stretch right after the deal kicks in. Yes.
I say I would hope that we have some news by the next show that we do.
Okay.
I would hope.
Okay.
I don't know. Again, I don't have a goddamn timeline for these things. All I know is that things are now moving. Like,
yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You said by next show you have about 5 shows. Next Mat Men?
I would say
next Beyond the Bell.
Maybe next Mat Men. Definitely. I would hope by next Mat Men. Maybe next Beyond the Bell.
Well, who's going to be our replacement next week? I'm not around next week.
Oh, you're not around for which show?
For Mat Men.
But you are for Beyond the Bell.
I'm for Beyond the Bell. I'm here.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I won't do it.
Oh. I think you should get Horny Harry back.
Oh man, Horny Harry. I haven't seen him in a while. So listen, they're going to be very profitable. Essentially, Tony said the deal is done in that media call, and nobody followed up with it.
Yeah,
which I found funny.
Yeah, I mean, listen, everybody's been hearing the deal is done forever. He said it's a golden age now, and AEW is a huge part of the wrestling conversation, which is true. You know, like, love it or hate it. You know, it's funny. It's really interesting how, like, you know, if you look at the landscape 5 or 6 years ago, people were begging and champing at the bit for a new wrestling company. What's the alternative, right? And you have 5 years of a strong alternative, and now these people turn and go, F AEW. I want to see it burn. F this, F that. You know, this isn't real wrestling.
Yeah. Dude, just fucking like what you like.
Exactly.
Who the fuck cares? I thought Bash in Berlin was a great show.
I
had
love
a blast.
Bash in Berlin. It was great. Exactly.
Had a blast.
3 hours on a Saturday afternoon.
You know what it is? That strap match, right? And then we'll get back to Tony because I know. And then guys, save your questions because we're going to talk about it. And I need to get out of here in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They did a 4-corner strap match, which is I detest. I don't like.
Yeah.
They made that thing into a fantastic match. You know what? I went in with an open mind to something that is not necessarily a match that I like, and I was blown away. They did a great job.
It was fun.
My expectation, I didn't have this insane expectation of anything. I just wanted to watch it and have a good time with my kids, and that's what we did. We watched it, and we had a great time.
It's all how you watch it. If you watch it in a basement, hating everything you see, you're going to have a different perspective. You're not going to be able to enjoy it factually, I feel.
Yeah.
You know? If you're in a pissed off mood, you're not going to like it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right.
What else did Tony say? Anything else?
He talked about how much wrestling fans have changed in terms of knowing the news and the business, which is a nice acknowledgement to smart fans. Yeah. WWE always teases that they know what the fans want, but they'll never outright say it, I think. I feel like that's like one of the last bastions of kayfabe.
Like, we're not going to tell you.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
The Rock and Cody thing.
Yeah, because Cody said if you only knew what the real ending was going to be,
right,
you would have been even more upset.
Right. So, you know, they flipped on a dime, but I feel like they never were like, oh yeah, the fans are smart and they know better. They were just like, hey, we heard the crowd reaction, and
it's cool when they kind of do like the wink and the nod and they break the fourth wall, but I don't like that being like the whole premise.
Yeah.
Like WCW in 2000. You know what I mean? Everything was like shoot brother and work brother. And, I kind of like the mystery of the carniness of wrestling.
I am the same exact way. I love the carniness of wrestling. And it's always it's really a brick in the face the first time you get carnied by a wrestler.
In real life?
In real life.
Oh, it's happened so much.
Exactly. Like, or when you see it happen, or if it happens to you, that minute you get carnied by a wrestler, you're like,
how about when Damien Demento broke my nose?
Oh my God.
He punched me in the nose.
Yeah.
In my house.
Shoot.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a shoot, brother.
He's like, this is a shoot, and he punched me in my nose. It was a whole thing.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Do you want to hit some notes from NXT?
Hey, is my painting gone?
Oh my God, what happened? Did it fall?
Did it fall?
Huh. Did somebody take it?
Okay, that's bizarre.
That is bizarre.
That was there.
Did you smash somebody over the head with it? Did you smash that guy in the booth over the head with it?
Oh man, I went crazy.
Blacked out. Did you come home, black out, drive back there with your painting and smash it over the guy's head?
I possibly could have. I might have murdered that man.
Notes from NXT. Julie's in.
Julia's in.
Julia challenges Roxanne Perez to a women's title match at the NXT CW premiere. Great. It's a lot of letters. WW NXT CW.
It's all acronyms.
Jordan Grace to defend the TNA Knockouts Championship next week on NXT. Did they reveal who her opponent is?
Not yet.
Not yet, right? Challenge. Who do you think it's going to be? Open challenge.
I wonder if it's like Rosemary since she's there now.
I'm going to say Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. You could bring somebody up from the main roster, A
returning Mandy Rose?
She's not going back. Well, she was at
that combine the other day.
She was in that combine.
That was great. And so was Xia Li.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jordan Grace, too. She was in the combine also. Ethan Page is set to defend the NXT title against the winner of next week's Last Man Standing match between Trick Williams, Pete Dunne, and Pete Dunne on the CW premiere. That's going to be cool. I'm really into this main event storyline on NXT, I got to say.
Oh, with Trick Williams and Ethan Page?
Yeah, and Joe Hendry, and then now you got Pete Dunne involved.
It's very cool stuff.
It's a nice little main event they got going on.
Well, you know what? They're treating it differently. You're not, it's a very different product. It really is. It does stand out as different. Whether you like it or not, it's your cup of tea. Like, I wish I watched more NXT because I don't have the time in the day. So what I generally do is I have to play catch up throughout the week.
Yeah.
Ketchup.
Ketchup. Have you ever met anybody that says catsup?
Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I've never met anybody that says catsup.
Ketchup. I met that. Ketchup.
I say ketchup sometimes.
Ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where were we? All I think is Mr. Burns shopping and buying ketchup.
Also, tonight's SmackDown is the last one on Fox.
Tonight's SmackDown. And it's going head-to-head with Collision.
Collision, which is also on TV. Collision and Rampage, you have a 3-hour block of AEW against a 2-hour block of SmackDown. I think both shows are going to go all out. You have, see what I did there? You have Giovanni Vinci returning.
Oh, nice.
Bailey versus Tiffany Stratton. You have an 8-man tag. Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa versus the Bloodline. And Cody Rhodes responds to Solo Sikoa's title challenge. This is going to be a good show.
I'm not into Solo. I think they propelled him here too soon.
He's still arguably the best positioned guy in wrestling.
Yeah, he's fantastically positioned. But I'm very disconnected with him and Cody.
Okay, I could see that. I could definitely see that. How do you feel about, where do you think Cody's going to go now? He had that title defense against Kevin Owens this past weekend. What do you see him doing going into the Rumble?
I mean, I want to see him and Jacob Fatu.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
who wins Rumble? Like
Roman.
Who and then what? You have Roman and Cody again? 3 years in a row?
Yeah, Roman Cody again. Absolutely.
What if it's Dwayne?
I'd be okay with that.
Dwayne wins.
I think if they do it right, I'd be okay with that.
So big. Dwayne is so big.
A giant person.
I was watching, I saw this clip of, they were on The Tonight Show. It was him and Roman.
Yeah.
And it looks almost like next to Dwayne, Roman is like anamorphic.
Yeah.
It's almost like the screen is like squished in because he's so wide.
Yeah.
He's ungodly in size.
It's like when you're 19 and your little brother didn't hit puberty yet,
And you're so much bigger than him.
yeah,
Wild. Massive. And Roman is a big dude.
oh yeah, there are no slouches in the big department.
Yeah.
Bret Hart is to appear on the Raw season premiere next Monday. Intercontinental #1 contenders tournament finals: Jey Uso versus Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne's getting a lot of TV time versus Braun Strowman versus Ilya Dragunov.
Cool.
Great.
That should be a good match.
Ladies tag team: Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defend against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And you have a street fight with the Wyatt Six versus American Made.
All right, cool. Let's see what happens.
They're kicking off. Raw will also kick off WWE Week on the USA Network.
Yeah. Because SmackDown is going there on Friday.
Yeah. Why does it say AEW next to that?
Yeah, what is this?
Raw will also kick off WWE Week on the USA Network AEW.
AEW Network AEW.
That's where that
USA
went.
Network AEW.
USA Network
Where
AEW.
that word went.
AEW.
He lost his word.
AEW.
All right, let's go through this go-home show really quickly. What a fantastic way to end it.
Are you pumped for All Out?
Yeah, it should be a good show.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Yep.
It looks to be good. And also, like, I feel like people worried about burnout after All In. I don't feel that burnout.
I don't feel that.
They capitalize, I think, on the stories, which is good. Danny Garcia storms to the ring, demanding MJF, refusing to wait until All Out. MJF is in one of the skyboxes. They have like a nice little promo exchange, which ends with Danny Garcia getting busted open and MJF kissing the blood off of his forehead.
You know what? I would have busted him open too if he was talking about my hair transplants. If I went to Turkey and got one,
did you pop for that?
I did. I feel like it's all for me.
Yeah. This guy likes hair peppered in.
Listen, Dr. Ziering in Long Island is a very good hair transplant surgeon. I don't know why you didn't go to him.
Who would you recommend to do a hair transplant?
And
also for guys that don't know, a hair transplant is they rip your entire scalp from your eyes up off your head.
Is that what it is?
And put a new one on.
Oh, is that what it is? They just
Yeah.
take the whole head off.
Yeah.
I like Dr. Bauman in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. He's a good doctor. Dr. Ziering is a good doctor.
You know who has a great hair transplant?
Who?
Brian Urlacher, the former linebacker for the Chicago Bears. His whole playing career bald. Right now, gray head of hair.
Dr. Basanga out of Belgium, another great hair transplant
That's
surgeon.
made up. That's a made up name.
No, Dr. Basanga. Look him up. Look him up right now.
All right.
Dr. Basanga. Hair transplant.
Oh, look at that.
See, told you. He's a real man. There's a lot of them. There's a ton of great doctors out there. Ton of great doctors.
That, again, one of your other interests besides pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Hair.
Dr. Bernstein was, for a while, like one of the top guys in New York. Dr. Bernstein from in Manhattan was a great hair transplant surgeon too.
Do you have somebody in your back pocket just in case it goes south?
I have like 4. I'm not even kidding you. I have 4.
Could you combine?
I've already worked out the deal.
Oh, I got a good one. Could you combine hair transplant? Could you get a little from one guy and then another, like a little, like a top off from another guy? I wouldn't necessarily go with the best one. I would probably go with one that I really trust. Okay.
That I could be honest and open with.
All right.
That's what I would do.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I made MG laugh so hard with that joke that he had to leave.
Disappeared. Yeah.
He was like, I'm done. Kazuchika Okada defeated Kyle Fletcher to retain the AEW Continental title. Yo, what a friggin' match.
Yeah. This was his second real match, right, for Okada, because him and Claudio was a good match, and they had a killer match.
Kyle Fletcher is probably my favorite up and comer in AEW.
I'd like to see him win.
I'd like to see. He doesn't have to at this point.
I'd like to see him just have really good matches and win and build him on TV on some sort of streak instead of losing every week.
I don't think he has to. You know why?
Why?
He's gigantic.
He's a big guy. Yeah.
He's a big 6'4", big dude. I understand the broccoli cut is the new thing. But listen,
the broccoli cut.
Do you like the broccoli cut?
No. I can't do it. I don't have curly hair.
That's true. Okada will now face 3 others in a 4-way at All Out. So I believe it's Kyle Fletcher. Am I wrong about that?
No.
Tonight they're doing the qualifiers tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll know the opponents.
But it is a 4-way on at the pay-per-view.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so you have Orange Cassidy, the Beast Mortos, and who else is it? Takeshita, right?
Takeshita's in it.
Okay. There was video footage of Swerve. This is arguably one of the best angles that AEW has ever done. Footage was released during the day of Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana outside Strickland's childhood home, where he says he cut an emotional promo, which is surprising for Swerve.
Yeah.
They released it during the day saying, "Oh, listen, I bought my childhood home. This is the memories."
Yeah.
Very emotional. Everybody
Very
was
emotional.
so pro Swerve, like, oh, he's got a heart after all.
He did buy his childhood home.
But it wasn't that one.
I don't know. I don't know which is the childhood home that they showed. I have no idea.
So put that in your back pocket. Jamie Hayter defeated Robin Renegade. Glad to see Jamie Hayter back. Moxley and Marina Shafir show up and start beating up security. He tells Jack Perry that he's a sweet boy.
He's a sweet boy.
And a good kid. How do you feel about... They call out Darby Allin. How do you feel about this Moxley thing? Like, do you know where it's going?
I don't know where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see where it goes. I hope it's Shane.
I wouldn't mind it if it were Shane. I feel like he should... If he's putting together a faction,
Yeah.
right? They also didn't address him not being in Blackpool Combat Club anymore.
Yeah, that's over, I guess.
Right? But it's not over because you have the rest of the guys in Pac.
But Pac's not in it.
He's like in it, kind of. He's kind of in it. He's like Redman.
He's like Redman. He's
like,
kind of in Wu-Tang, but he's not.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
he's kind of like Redman in that
Wu-Tang adjacent
situation. Right, he's
Wu-Tang
Wu-Tang
adjacent.
I kind of want Samoa Joe to join that faction.
Oh, that'd be great, too. He would fit in.
We never got a Moxie Joe program, right?
No, we have not.
Yeah.
That's a good program to be in.
That'd be good. Like, if you got Mox, Darby Allin, Marina Shafir, Samoa Joe, and maybe somebody else, that's a good, hard-hitting faction right there.
Yeah. I'm curious to see where they go.
Mariah May defeated Nyla Rose to retain AEW Women's title. Mercedes and Camille are in the ring recapping her New Japan win, calls out Sheeta. We have the AEW's trio champion. This was a fun match. Pat, Claudio, and Wheeler defeated Will Ospreay, Kyle O'Reilly, and Orange Cassidy. Now, this leads to Claudio calling out the Bucks for this weekend's show.
Yeah.
I would love it if him and Wheeler beat the Bucks
For the title?
for the title.
I'd like that, too.
Put all the belts on these guys. After the match, Young Bucks and Jack Perry attacked the BCC. So we're getting a giant 10-man tag tonight or 8-man tag tonight.
Yeah, it's
on Collision.
It's a big match. Danielson, Pac, Wheeler, Claudio versus the Elite. Matt, Nick, Okada, and Jack Perry.
Now, this is the end of the show. I'm sure all of you guys have seen it.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. The Swerve and Hangman feud has been one of the best feuds, I think, in pro wrestling history.
For that company, for sure.
For the company. Well, I think
they're married. I mean, I like how married they are, you know?
They're extremely married to each other, right? And you know you're going to get that tag team eventually.
Oh, somebody diabolical comes and it makes them become friends.
Something happens.
I broke into your house and I set yours on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're buddies, you know?
And now we're buddies.
So they kept playing Hangman's music, didn't come out. All of a sudden, hey, you see Hangman in front of Swerve's childhood home.
Yep.
Talking shit about it, talking shit about Swerve. Meanwhile, pouring gasoline everywhere.
Yep.
The thing I thought was funny is that he's holding a selfie stick while he was doing it.
Hey guys, I'm here live. Hit the subscribe button. He was doing a vlog.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. Great angle.
Great angle. He set
Swerve's
the freaking house on
reaction
fire.
Mm-hmm.
Swerve's reaction was great. This was cool. This was fun.
Yeah.
This was pro wrestling. I mean, this is. I thought they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
It got people talking. That shot, that photo that they posted. I think Ryan is the photographer to that.
Yeah.
He took an amazing shot. I do know Will Washington put this together. Kudos to Will.
Great job there.
And I sent him a little message. I was like, dude, you should be proud of this.
Oh,
you did
yeah.
a good job with this. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really well put together. Just makes the feud mean even more. It's now an unsanctioned match.
So it goes on last.
It's a unsanctioned
Lights out, they're calling it. Like
lights
they did
out
with-
in a cage, right?
So this goes on
Yeah,
last, right?
stage match.
Like
I
this
don't
is-
know.
Correct.
Main event has
Yes.
to go. Maybe.
This has
Yes.
to go on last. If it's
Would you want-
unsanctioned, it has to go on
it
last.
has to.
Yeah. This is lights out, right?
Jack Perry and Bryan Danielson having a wrestling match is not going on after this.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I
right.
mean?
These guys gotta murder each other.
Here's a card for All Out. Get your questions ready because I got to get out of here. AEW Continental Championship, Kazuchika Okada. They changed it now. People used to say Kazuchika.
Yeah.
Right? Now it's Kazuchika. Defends in a 4-way. TBS champion Mercedes Moné defends against Shida with Camille banned from ringside. AEW Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas, defends against Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. MJF Daniel Garcia.
There you go.
AEW International Champion Will Ospreay defends against Pac. That should be a great match.
Oh, yeah.
Ricochet probably plays a part in this. Chicago Street Fight, Willa Nightingale, Chris Statlander. Unsanctioned Lights Out match. Unsanctioned Lights Out Steel Cage match. Swerve Strickland, Hangman Page. AEW World Champion Bryan Danielson defends against Jack Perry. And maybe some surprises.
Do you want to go real quick through it and then see who wins? Just like...
Okay.
Really? Okay.
The 4-way.
Okada.
Okay. Mercedes and Shida.
Mercedes.
Yep. MJF Daniel Garcia.
MJF.
I'm going to go Daniel Garcia with some shenanigan.
Okay.
Wardlow. Something, because
MJF wins with Wardlow.
Daniel Garcia needs a win.
He does, but I do think it's okay to keep beating him up.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm a little down on him right now.
Bucks and Claudio?
You know what? Put it on Claudio.
Put on Claudio. Ospreay, Pac.
I'm going to go Ospreay, and I'm going to say Ricochet plays a part in this.
I'm going to go Pac. Ricochet F's up the save.
Okay.
Nightingale, Statlander.
Nightingale.
I'm going to go Statlander on this one.
Okay.
Hangman, Swerve.
This is good. I think Hangman has to get the win.
I think they both get taken away in ambulances.
They're both dead.
I think they both just murder, like straight up murder each other.
Okay.
Danielson, Jack Perry.
Danielson.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That'd be funny if this dude drops it to Jack Perry.
Oh,
I've heard a million names.
We'd riot.
Sorry, I'm crashing here. The coffee gave me a high, and now I'm coming down.
If you drink too much caffeine, you go to fall asleep.
I go to sleepy now.
Yeah.
That would set the entire building on fire if Jack Perry wins.
But I wouldn't put it out of the purview of Danielson to do that.
I've heard names that could potentially beat him. I've never heard his name.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Any surprises this weekend? Is Adam Cole? Where's Adam Cole? Where's Dabakota?
I don't.
Question number one. Where's Dabakota?
Where's Dabakota? I would say I would expect a surprise. I don't know if we're going to get it, but I would say maybe expect something. It's a big show for them.
Yeah.
They're on a high right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They got, you know what? I do feel like that the feeling that day is probably going to be, holy shit, Hangman Swerve is going to put on a banger.
Yeah.
We all have to effing step it up. I think every match is going to knock it out of the park.
All right.
With that in mind.
So let's do questions.
Okay. Tech and sports. You ready?
Yeah.
Were you going to say something?
No.
If you want to super chat, we'll answer your question first. We got about 10 minutes and we're going to get out of here. Tech and sports. Hey, Andrew, any new info about the lawsuit between WBD and the NBA? Is the NBA lawsuit the reason for delay in the announcement of Warner Brothers and AEW?
No, I think what's going to probably happen is they're going to settle and WBD will get a couple bucks from them because they did have first rights.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to argue it and they'll get a couple bucks from this and they'll settle. The NBA is still on next year, by the way. A lot of people think that deal is over. No, they have 2025 still.
Batcher 3000, I was dying laughing when Nana said, why would he do that? Knowing damn well Swerve broke it to Hangman's house.
Yeah, so good. So good.
Paul Anthony Moss, friend of the show here. WWE is having a house show here in Orlando on the same date as AEW World's End. Think TK stacks the card more than usual? Possible Kenny, Cole, Cope all back by then?
I don't know. I would hope Kenny comes back soon. I would hope Copeland comes back. I would hope Cole comes back. Those three add a different element.
Oh yeah,
to that roster. I think WWE just is doing their tour. I don't think this is one of those like let's counter program it.
Right.
I think they're just doing their house show loop for the holidays. They have not announced their garden show yet, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Ali Khan, how well do you think AEW will draw on the stadium shows in Arlington and Australia? Provide numbers for both. I personally think they will do well.
I have no idea what their Australian following is like. And Australia is not a easy to get to destination.
No.
So, you could justify going to England. It's a 6.5, 7 hour flight from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Australia is very far. The world is not flat. Don't listen to those people on the internet.
I thought you were an Earth flatter.
A flat? No. I'm just a flatter.
You're a flat Marser.
I'm a flat Marser.
Yeah.
Mars is flat. Investigate 311.
I'd love that. I always crack up whenever I hear that joke.
Yeah, me too. Every time. I don't know. I really don't know. The Arlington one, they could potentially do really well.
Yeah.
40,000?
Why not?
36,000? 36,000.
Yeah. It's
Let's go 30. I'll go 36,000 for Arlington.
Oh, awesome. Australia, I think they'll do well. I think because you're close to a lot of good, like you're close to New Zealand, you're close to Japan, Like I feel like a lot of people will come and see that show.
I don't know. I don't know what the expectation is. How big is that building? Did they announce
a stadium?
It's a stadium.
Yeah,
24,000 people, mate.
But what kind of stadium? Is it like a 60,000 person stadium or like a 25,000 person stadium?
I'll try to look it up.
We got Red Bull Stadium going up here.
Yeah,
here in Queens, next to Citi Field, and that's going to be a smaller stadium. It's going to be about 25,000 people.
There's someone in the chat saying that there's not a big AEW following there, but sales have been okay. I don't know where they're getting that information.
Is it on sale?
Are they
Are you Stadium?
Person in the chat room? Are you in Australia?
What is Sun Park Stadium?
Suncorp. They
Suncorp.
They had Tony Storm there, promoting it.
So it's a 52,000 person stadium. This is a very large. I mean, it's a nice sized building.
I bet you they could do it.
So 40,000.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have zero idea
Tarp it off.
What kind of poll they could get there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or it could be one of those where, like, listen, an American, like in Europe, an American company starts touring there. It always does well because it's not there. So I don't know if Australia is the same thing.
We'll know next week because the general admission sales go on sale Friday the 13th, and the pre-sale wait list starts on Tuesday the 10th.
Okay, so nothing's on sale yet.
Okay.
Just the VIP stuff went on sale on the 30th.
Okay.
And ringside.
Brian Knight, who is your hater of the year? Hate.
That I hate, or someone that hates me?
I think someone that hates things.
Someone that hates what?
Everything. Wrestling. The bozos on the internet.
The all collective of the fucking internet.
The collective of the bozos on the internet and the people who want to see both companies destroy themselves.
Am I allowed to call people losers?
I think so.
Can I do that? Can I just be like, you're such a loser?
If they display loser antics and tactics, absolutely.
Nobody me all the time.
Everybody who's got doesn't have their real face and name as an avatar.
Loser.
On X, loser. People who can't hang glide, losers.
I think you could call them cucks, too. I think cucks is acceptable still.
A cuckold.
Do you want to get out of here in 5 minutes? I feel like you're falling asleep.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
This is from Alex.
The COVID's coming back.
Hirogyu Kalu Kalinikta. Had a blast at both All In and Bash in Berlin. Still an amazing feeling to watch both companies in 1 week in Europe. Where do you think WWE runs next? And also predict for the All In 2026.
All In 2026 is going to be at Wembley again, isn't it?
I think so. I'd like a WWE to run France again. I feel like that show, like
that was a good crowd. Yeah,
they really
knocked it out of the park. Go to Spain.
Oh, Italy, that would be amazing.
Who's an overly Italian character in that company?
Giovanni Vinci,
okay.
And
Johnny Gargano,
and the guy on NXT,
and the guy from NXT.
Oh, this is a great question. Yeah. Shin returns. Our friend Shin.
What kind of snacks you have?
Shin's back. Question: Fantasy book Baron Corbin's first appearance in come on.
You know what? He's the Undertaker. He comes out like the Undertaker.
Fantasy book Baron Corbin's first appearance in AEW, and who's his first feud against? Number one, this guy shows up on a motorcycle.
Yeah,
very Undertaker.
Yeah,
right?
and then his first feud is with Danhausen, and then he just beats up the little guys.
No, you know what I want? I want this guy to show up in a mask, but he's a motorcycle leather. For some reason, he's got like a gimp mask on.
Yeah, okay.
Right. He murders Lance Archer.
Oh, okay.
Chokeslams Lance Archer. Lance Archer cleans house. He has a big match, right?
Yeah, and then he shows up.
There's tables set up somehow outside, right? This guy shows up, chokeslams Lance Archer through these tables, takes the mask off. Baron Corbin.
Fantastic.
But he needs another name. He can't be Baron Corbin. Corbin Baron.
Corbin
Baron. Llama Whisperer.
Baron. He just started. He's at NYU.
Rich, there's also another super chat.
Yeah.
Hold on. Where?
I'll get it up right here.
Yeah, get it up.
Oh. Odds Collision and Rampage moved to Thursday night. I think that would be fantastic. I do not like the Saturday time slot. I was always told that that's almost like a placeholder. You know what else I was told? Like SmackDown on Friday, I was told that that was still a placeholder, that Fox could have moved them.
Oh, interesting.
And they never did. The only other day would have been really Thursday or Tuesday for that show. But you have NXT Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I think Thursday would be great for Collision.
Yes, I agree with that.
I think Rampage, we might see something different from Rampage this go around.
I like Rampage. I feel like, but like 10 o'clock on a Friday, man.
You
know how we do. We're always out partying on Friday night, baby.
Yeah, we're always out Friday night. My edible has kicked and I'm in bed by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, you're fused to the bed by 9 o'clock. Let's see. Brian Knight, over under 75% chance that Tony Khan announces the new TV deal at Grand Slam.
I would pick. Again, I'm just guessing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would say maybe before that.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Fair.
I would say maybe before that. I don't know. The Grand Slam, I don't think it's that big of a deal this year. I'm making it into a big deal.
It's been progressively, the plane has been landing because that first one was a big deal.
Second one was okay. Third one, no advertising. This is the fourth. There's no advertising for this one either.
You know, like there was shit all over the subway for the first one.
Oh my God, there was guerrilla marketing happening all around Manhattan. They had the stencil on the sidewalks in Midtown that said AEW Grand Slam.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good job.
MGF doing going from station to station.
Yeah,
they'll probably do that again.
They actually put him up in a hotel because they were anticipating traffic so bad, per source.
Let's do 3 more.
Okay,
and then we got to get you out of here.
I got to get out of here.
Trust the process with the super chat.
Yeah.
AEW's much improved booking and high profile signings have resulted in zero boost in ticket sales and viewership. Is it just the new baseline and norm, and are those previous figures not attainable anymore?
I think it was the honeymoon. You know, it was a long extended honeymoon because of COVID, and I think we are where a lot of people predicted they would be at. You know, when they started in 2019, the estimate was that they would do about 500,000 viewers or a little more. That was considered positive. They could probably do, 4,000, 5,000 people in a building for good shows. Pay-per-views, maybe they could hit 10,000. They've exceeded all of that.
Yeah.
They're still exceeding it on pay-per-views. Pay-per-views are performing well. I just think the pool of wrestling fans are small.
Yeah.
Unless you're an institution. You're Xerox. WWE is Xerox.
Yes.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
They're IBM.
Yeah.
They are what you think of wrestling.
Yeah.
Anything secondary, you know, at first it's going to be different and people are going to tune in, but the casual audience did not stay.
They don't have that perpetual machine going yet.
They don't, and they're getting there. And I think last year with poor booking, I did not like the MJF Adam Cole stuff. I think it was very cold. I did not get into it. There were set injuries that happened. The CM Punk stuff was a punch in the gut for a lot of people, and it took them out of it.
Yep.
You know, they had a number of setbacks back
Losing
to back.
Cody. Yeah.
Losing Cody in January of 2 years ago was a big hit too. There's been a lot of moving parts here, but I think the last couple months, the last year, they've done everything to kind of reverse some of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like this. You know, it's hard to put 10,000 people in a building. You know, people don't remember just a few years ago, Raw was getting, I mean, that live audience was dwindling. The live viewership was dwindling. And there was a conversation happening that can AEW catch up to Monday Night Raw? The reality is no, they're not a machine like WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need to stop comparing the two. They're two very different properties that have very different philosophies, even though it's professional wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. But
there's good in both.
But
there's
also
bad in both.
It's awesome that we have both.
And it's awesome that we have both.
Jonas, question. Who do you think will be the next big wrestler Tony Khan is pursuing?
I don't know who's available.
I don't want to say Bobby Lashley, but I feel like anybody.
I think Bobby Lashley would be fantastic. I
like Jinder. I think Jinder would be great.
I think if Lashley comes in at near the end of the year, you kind of leave something like October, November. If they bring in Lashley, it's like an interesting piece here.
Yeah.
You know, you could do something interesting leading into 2025.
Keep him at that secondary mid card level. Just make him like the monster.
They're gonna have to make him into a main guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cadillac Carson, what condiments do you prefer to put on your hot dog?
Yo, listen, I love
Everything, right?
I love everything, but I have no problem with ketchup and mustard together.
Here. But would you do just ketchup?
I've done just ketchup.
Okay.
I don't mind it. You know, don't fucking shame me about my condiment. You fucking people are putting beans and cheese and chili and beef on your hot dog, and you're shaming me
for just ketchup.
For just ketchup?
Yeah, I'm saying everything goes on a hot dog.
Anything and everything.
Barbecue
I do like
mustard. Just mustard.
I like a relish.
Oh yeah. Them onions.
I like the onions.
Them onions.
I like the chili.
Yeah.
I like it all.
Yeah.
I love hot dogs.
Sauerkraut.
I love hot dogs.
You know what? You know what the danger is?
The next day.
Can't have too many.
No, the agita.
Yeah, it's the agita, and also they're hot dogs. You know, like let's be honest here. Like they're fucking hot dogs. They're gonna kill you. I also love a good hot dog.
What's your brand?
Honestly, I'm a Nathan's guy.
Okay.
But I always get the Applegate organic hot dogs.
I love the Applegate organic hot dogs.
Awesome.
They're great.
So good.
Hebrew National.
I was never a big Hebrew
Nash guy. What's the other one? Sabret. That's another one.
Are you an Oscar Mayer?
Never an Oscar Mayer wiener.
I bet you Mr. Gonz is an Oscar Mayer.
You know what I do have like a little thing for?
We have our own. We have our own here in Michigan.
The ones that plump.
The plump when you cook them?
A Ballpark Frank.
Ballpark Frank, yeah.
Michael Jordan convinced me in the 90s that those are good dogs. They're terrible.
MG, what are the hot dogs you got coming out your ears?
Kogels.
Excuse me?
Kogels.
They're called Kogels.
I got to get out of here. All right, one more question. I got to go.
This is from our buddy Shen. Real question. No matter how Swerve and Hangman ends, where does either man go from there? This is tough. You know why?
Yeah.
This is very tough because they're hovering on something that's completely insane. Where you have a dude named Hangman.
Oh, yeah.
Who is going after...
Who set a black man's house on fire? Yeah, I think that's a little much.
Who's from the South.
I know.
Who set a black dude's house on fire. To me, that's wild. I'm not saying Hangman's a racist, but maybe that's how they get out of this. Maybe somebody really thinks Hangman's a racist,
and that's how they stop the angle.
And then Hangman's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "No, I'm not like that at all." And then he ends up teaming with Swerve.
Is that how you get out of it?
And they fight the fucking racists.
They fight all the racists. Dude, you know what? I like feuds that kind of make me like, ooh, yikes.
This is a very big yikes, yeah. But in a good way.
Yeah, I like a good yikes. And they're both so freaking good. This deranged Hangman is fantastic. I think Swerve, the big story this year really is the rise of Swerve and how this guy was an indie star, tremendous talent, went to NXT, got called up, left that company, and he started off on the lower mid card, and in a very short period of time became a very hot figure in that company. Yeah. That is exactly what you want. There's a reason why he's been given a great deal.
Does Swerve have a family? Swerve's got kids, right?
I don't know. I don't know much about it.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like, that could be the end of the feud there, where it's like both their respective families go, enough's enough.
Yeah.
Like, this is too much.
That would be great, too. Yeah.
Like
enough's enough.
This is too much. You guys are killing each other, and you have children. Let's see. Hang on. We got a super chat from, this is the last one here. Super chat from Matt Logan. Andrew, is the beard for the fall?
I always have a beard.
Yeah. It looks good.
I just let it grow a little bit. Yeah. It looks really dark now.
You're getting that Dan
Bilzerian. You know why I had to trim it?
What is that?
All the grays.
Oh, yeah?
So many grays. Swerve has a daughter.
You should.
Yeah, maybe that's what they do. They're like, listen, what are we doing?
2 daughters and a son.
There you go.
Okay, so maybe they involve the families. The families get involved. They're like, what the hell are you guys doing?
His cousin was also a former NFL linebacker. I didn't know that one.
Who was?
Yeah.
Strickland. Fred Strickland was a linebacker for.
Listen, great athletes create great athletes.
Like,
that's how it is.
Like, enough's enough from the family.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Like, that would be nuts, man. But this is my favorite feud going on right now.
Yeah, me too. Love it. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. Love each and every one of you. I'll see you on Sunday. Enjoy the pay-per-view tomorrow. We'll be back on Tuesday on Fightful with Beyond the Bell. And we'll be on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. Adios.
X gonna give it to you later.